What's going on, True Combat King family? I'm your host, Ferry187, and today we're accompanied with my man Dan. How you doing today, Dan?
Doing well, doing well.
Excellent, excellent. And also, I would like to give a very special shout out to all the members who showed up in participation today. We have a Crummy Bick. How you doing today, Crummy Bick?
Hello, sir.
Excellent. In addition to him, we have Mass Pirate. How you doing today, Mass Pirate? Excellent. And last but not least, we also have Big Bird and Rue. How you guys doing today, Big Bird and Rue? You guys doing okay?
Doing great.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we want to thank you guys for being present today at today's meeting. Today we have a few very important topics to go over for the family, some not so heavy as others. So with no further ado, we'll go ahead and get started as soon as possible. So one thing we would like to do is get started off on our usual table. We're going to go off of our Cubs and Knights first. The very first thing we'd like to highlight for all Cubs and Knights in TCK is the change of your Spartan company name. Arrow Rock and Rue, how you guys doing this morning? You guys both doing okay?
Yeah, doing
Excellent.
good.
Would you mind sharing with all of TCK the name of your new Spartan company?
It is called TCK Cubs and Knights and Cubs, my bad.
Excellent, excellent.
TCK Knights and Cubs.
Okay, so we just want to make sure that all Cubs and Knights are officially recognized as part of the family. No more should it just be like the Cubs and Knights are just Knights, but you have officially been branded as part of TCK now, and we're recognizing both of the divisions inside of your one Spartan company. So we do hope that this definitely shows an attempt on behalf of the presidential staff to bring unification to all of TCK and not just focusing on the higher houses and higher members. With that being said, I've heard that you guys was trying to have a meeting, but I'm not quite sure too much has been done about that. So what's going on with your guys' meeting?
I didn't hear anything about that,
Okay, about two
but
weeks ago, we received information. Okay, so wait, two
I,
weeks ago, yes.
oh, that was,
So,
you mean the thing just between me and you, Rue?
well, here's the thing. That was an
Oh,
official meeting, and you guys did make official plans. It's been 2 weeks, and no actions have been done as far as I'm concerned about your plans. So this is why we're asking you guys to tell us right now if you have done anything in regards to the things that you have spoken about, because we're glad to hear that you guys are attempting to actually have some type of order amongst the Cubs and Knights, but we really want to actually see the results as well. So what have you guys actually done recently?
all right. The the meeting the meeting was about, well, at least part of it was about how we did recruiting and all that, but based on the fact we haven't had any recruits since then. So we haven't been able to, enact what we discussed.
Okay, and what efforts have been made on behalf of the Knights and Cubs for recruiting, if any at all? No, like what I'm asking is I see you guys on, but very rarely do I actually see just the two of you playing matchmaking, attempting to only find members. You will be in our party, but have you? Basically, I'm not trying to grill you guys. Okay, let's go ahead and kind of back this up a little bit. Just kind of put that in rewind. I just want you guys to definitely demonstrate your communications. I know what you guys have spoken about. I know the changes you guys are attempting to see in the Knights and Cubs. Just as of now, I really do feel that a little bit more action is going to definitely be required to see all the beautiful things you guys talked about taking some type of effect. So, in the next coming weeks and months to come, we do expect to see more strictly Knights and Cub parties out playing Infection. I noticed that a lot of young people play Infection. Um, you will also probably have a good chance at finding them in Action Sack, I think it is. Isn't that right, Dan? Action Sack.
Yes.
I mean, so based off of my personal experience in the matchmaking lobbies, there are certain game types that young people do play a lot more than older people. Griffball is also one of those in particular categories of games that you guys probably will go out and find a couple of Knights and Cubs in. I mean, how does everyone else in TCK feel? Can you guys think of any in particular game types that, as older individuals, you know that you personally don't like to play, but whenever you do find yourself in these lobbies, you notice that you found a couple more younger people. Does anyone else have any other recommendations for them?
No, I mean, all I would say is that yeah, like stuff like infection and stuff like that is a good thing for them to play. But you also just to
Be right back, guys. Hang
um
on. There's like a lot of stuff going on.
just
Okay.
the thing is if even if they aren't able to find cubs, if they're in the lobby just playing games and find members, I still think that shows that they are at least trying to get um just recruits, period. So it's going to be hard to kind of narrow it down to what the kids like to play, because a lot of the time the kids like to play Warzone and stuff
Yeah,
like that, or
exactly.
Arena, just depending.
Yeah.
So even if they're just playing and if they can recruit or find regular members, that still shows they're doing something. So I don't know exact way for them to actually find Cubs, um, but I guess the time of the day or um, I have no idea. But even
All
if
right.
they're getting members, that still proves that they are at least trying, just to give them some uh, kind of have their back a little bit.
I have to
I
totally agree with Dan, gentlemen. If we had more referrals coming from your in particular division, then I highly doubt we'll be having this conversation right now because we will be able to justify the fact that you are trying to find people. They may not be your own age, but two or three people came in this month from the Cub division, from the Knight division. This will be highly beneficial as far as establishing proof that you're not just trying to talk a big game about being a leader, but you're actually walking the walk as well.
all
So,
right.
yeah, yes, sir.
Here's something. Here's something. I hate to be the guy, disagreeing, but with action, you're saying action sack infection is where we should be looking. If we're being all stereotypical and all that, you're not gonna find the kind of Cubs and Knights that you want, like the mature ones playing. In fact, you're just gonna find squeakers.
Well, to be honest with you,
And I'm not saying,
I did not say to play. I recommended certain game types. Now, upon that recommendation, it was furthered by the appointed president here that it's probably a better idea for you just to focus on finding general members for the family. By you establishing that, we know that you're trying. That's what we're saying right now. I don't care what game type you want to play. I recommended a couple of game types. But all I care about is over the next 3 weeks, the three people come in with Arrow Rock Aru as a recommendation. They may not come to Cubs or Knights, but did you guys find people for this family as a whole? That's what we're saying.
all right,
Excellent. Okay, so also on Cubs and Knights, really there's not too much more. I would like to start seeing a little bit more participation out of you guys as far as house meetings are concerned. Now, Rue, what house meeting do you usually go to? Oh, that's understandable. But just remember, on I believe it's Tuesdays at this time in the morning, there's a meeting that you can make. It's infantry meeting, and I usually do believe I see you. I know I've seen you at one or two at least. Arrow Rock.
On Tuesday?
Okay.
There's no meetings on
I'm sorry.
Tuesdays.
Wednesday. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to memorize the calendar. If you're at home and you're watching right now, feel free to go to truecombatkings.com. On the top of the page, you're going to see a button that says events. It will totally let you know about every event going on in the family. I personally, as a commander, am trying to take the time to memorize the TCK calendar and know the schedule like the back of my hand. So I do apologize for any official inaccuracies I may present, but please understand, you guys, I'm doing the best I can to actually make this knowledge a piece of me and not just something on a website. Okay, so Arrow Rock, which house meeting would you like to start going to?
Would I like to start going to?
Well, because
Um,
I don't want to point you to a house, but I know that Rue's holding down infantry, and I know that he knows what infantry meetings are, and I don't see you at infantry meetings. How do you feel about Guardian?
all right. I
Okay,
can't
here.
guarantee that I'll show up to everyone, but
Well, the thing is
when I can, when I will.
as a commander, we're expecting you at least 3 of these events a month. So we do understand that you represent all of the Knights and Cubs. And to reassure us that our leadership instructions are being followed in the lower houses, it's going to be kind of required that you and Rue are both synonymously taking information from different houses and presenting it to all of the Cubs and Knights together. That's the reason why I'm saying, I know that Rue is doing the infantry side, and he's doing a pretty good job at that, and that's why I'm asking you to do the Guardian side, because if you guys just come together once a week, like you guys have been trying to do and have your meetings and stuff, then I believe that this will kind of further structure as far as Knights and Cubs and make it possible for when you guys are in your own games, you kind of better understand exactly how we are trying to teach all of the members in higher TCK. So,
All right.
awesome sauce. Now, please note, you guys, you're not just going to learn infantry stuff or Guardian stuff. There's going to be members coming from the higher houses to teach classes about stealth work or about watching. So you guys will be receiving advanced information, and it's going to be very beneficial for you guys to be there once again. So thank you. Now, if for some reason you're unable to make them Arrow Rock based off the time of the week and scheduling and stuff, let me know. Let Dan know. Let an empty big know. Let Gameaholic know. This way we can actually say, okay, maybe he cannot do this position, and maybe we should try to switch him and Rule around something, but we can't work with you if you don't communicate with us. That's ultimately what I'm trying to get at right now. So,
Hey, Ray.
yes, sir.
It's Dan. So just to Elrock, I do want to say this. I know he is trying, but he does come to I think he came to one of the commander meetings that I have once a month with the commander. So,
Beautiful,
you
beautiful.
at least do that Arrow, because we kind of go over things there too. So, just keep it up. We know that you're a little bit younger, so you in school and stuff like that. So
Yes,
just do the best you
yes.
can, and just let us know if you can or if you can. Things do come up, so that's all I'm gonna say.
Amen. And do understand, Rue, this is for you as well, that if you cannot make it to all the house meetings, we understand. You guys are commanders after all. So I'm pretty sure that the presidential staff will have no problem agreeing with the fact that if you made it to at least one commander class and 2 of your house classes a month, then I'm pretty sure that would be sufficing. Would that work for you, you think, Dan? I'm pretty sure that the other presidential
Yeah.
staff would mind. So that would still show us that you guys are trying, and at the same token, as you just heard from your appointed president, we know that you're in school. Your education is very important to us as well. just let us know what's going on with you so we can work with you, okay? All right. So, with that being said, is there anything else, Knights and Cubs, that we should talk about today? Knights and Cubs going once. Knights and Cubs going twice. Okay, now,
It's a
just
round
so
table.
all... Well, in a way, it kind of isn't because he does have a very valid point. For all the Knights and Cubs in TCK, understand that your commanders have already started to mandate the transition from WeChat to Discord. So please get with Rock Aru to make sure that you guys are up to date with what's expected of you and that you're in the right place, right cabinet, etc., etc. Now, please note that in a lot of ways, you guys are definitely being studied. You're being evaluated. A lot of people are watching your chats. A lot of people are seeing exactly how secure they are, how mature people are. So understand, a lot is riding on your guys' performance right now. So if you are a Knight and are a Cub and you're watching this transmission, please understand that you should get in touch with either Rue or Arrow Rock and reassure the fact that you are in good standing with them on the new appropriate Knights and Cubs chat. So thank you for adding that, Arrow Rock. That was actually, or excuse me, thank you for adding
That
that,
wasn't
Rue.
me.
That was actually quite valuable. Thank you. Okay, so is there anything else on Knights and Cubs? Going once? Going twice? Third and final time? Excellent. Alright, so with nothing else, we're going to move on up to Green Shield. Now, I do want all of TCK to know that we have been doing an amazing job with this new unspoken recruitment that we're doing. I'm pretty sure a few of you guys have noticed that we've had a handful of individuals just playing with us. Not making them members or anything. We may have talked about membership, but we never really tried to recruit them in any way, shape, or form. Well, it's been about 2 or 3 weeks for half these individuals, and they're ready to join the family. So I guess what I'm trying to focus on right here is prospecting still works. You don't have to be in such a rush to just find members for TCK to meet a quota at the end of the week no more. That's not even required anymore. But just simply playing games, finding good people to join the lobby afterwards, sending them all party invites. Whoever has a headset sticks around. Whoever even sends a message can stick around. No communication, you get booted. Rinse and repeat a few times, and you got yourself 5 or 6 new friends. And I know I'm not the only commander that has witnessed this working over the last week or so. I'm just going to encourage more TCK commanders and members to kind of do your part because Green Shield is all of our responsibility. And if we want to continue to see TCK thrive and prosper, then all of us is going to have to kind of step in a little bit more and just kind of make sure that we're befriending more people, subliminally educating them about TCK, not trying to force anything on them or anything like that, just this is who we are, this is what we do type of information. If we can actually get to mastering this new formula, I do believe that by the next year presidential term, TCK is going to become kind of automatic when it goes down to our recruitment process. So all commanders and members, I know that's not too much to really talk about on Green Shield today, but just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. You know, what have you done to reassure that TCK has an adequate amount of members? When you was playing at 2 o'clock in the morning, did you make a friend or two? If you did, perfect. Make sure they start playing with us more. And if you didn't, well, these are the things that we would love for all members and commanders alike to start exonerating throughout the family. Okay, so on Green Shield, are there any questions, comments, or concerns? Anyone? Anyone?
Just make sure we get people through their tryouts. We started with them. He didn't pass, but let's continue to try to get these tryouts out the way.
Excellent. And just remember, you guys, and to kind of piggyback off of Dan's shoulders here. In fact, let me see if I can hop on him. Never mind. Would be a little bit too much work. Don't want to do all that. Your shoulders look so comfortable. I know you can backpack me. I know you can. But anyway, just to kind of piggyback off of what Dan was talking about, we do have a few members still technically considered property of Green Shield. If these members do not complete their tryout by the end of the month and they have no presidential recommendations, they will be expelled from TCK, in which case they can always reapply, but they came so far that I would really hate to see them have to start all the way back over. So this is a reality for all of the people. If you're watching this at home, Doc McStuffins, now's the time for you guys to be getting a little bit more serious about passing your Green Shield evaluation. Please get in touch with us. So thank you once again for bringing that up, Dan. That was a very important topic to kind of touch down on.
No problem.
Okay. So is there anything else that you guys feel we should talk about in Green Shield? Green Shield going once. Green Shield going twice. Green Shield, Green Shield, Green Shield. With nothing else on Green Shield, we'll officially move up to the member table. Excuse me. Okay, so members, I know we usually don't have too much to talk about on your guys' table, but all that's about to change today. So we actually got something to talk about. Members, it has kind of became more than apparent that TCK is losing touch with its roots. We have members in houses that flat out just don't belong in those houses. We have members in the lower houses that make you kind of ask, how the hell did you even get in this house in the first place? And it's gotten kind of bad, people. It's gotten really bad. If you notice over the last few months and stuff, we've actually started classes. We've even went so far to actually make sure your commander's holding the classes on time. But for some odd reason, a lot of members do not feel it's their obligation, responsibility, or their duty to actually show up to their house events. And that's your prerogative. I mean, you're right. As a member, it's not. We cannot mandate anything of you. But with that being said, you can no longer continue to expect us to treat you as a first-class member if you're barely a third-class citizen. So, with that being said, all members of TCK, this is your one warning from Ray. This is it. Pay close attention. I will not give another one. From this day forth, if you're showing an inadequate ability to perform your jobs or functions on the battlefield, an inadequate ability to understand simple instructions, if you're just flat out not doing your job, we're going to start taking crowns, and this will start immediately. Now understand, the severity of the punishment will fit the crime. There is no guarantee how long that crown will be taken for. But I can tell you now, if it's taken for too long, you will be recommended back to the custody of Green Shield. In which case, good luck getting back in that house again, and the other house probably won't want you either because they all know that you're crap. So the best way to prevent this recommendation from happening to you is, one, do your job on the battlefield. You see an empty warthog and you're in Watcher, Jimmy Kudo, don't hop in that warthog. Okay? If you're supposed to be sniping, but you're constantly picking up rockets or you're chasing down a guy on the other side of the map, and our team is constantly getting killed because you can't perform your task, well, unfortunately, you're not worthy of being in a higher house. You're not watching my back. If I can never count on you to grab the flag, don't even worry about staying in the house no more. And if you're an infantry member and you think all you're going to be doing is driving and you cannot hold your own, you cannot even take basic instructions for where that warthog should go, if a stealth member has that flag, but for some odd reason they cannot get transportation, and we keep seeing infantry members running past the warthogs, believe us, at the end of that game, you will be reprimanded for this. So go to your classes, listen during the games. This should not be so hard for a lot of members. I mean, everyone here, you had a chance when you first became a member to pick your house. You had a chance to pick what you want to do. And I believe up to this very point, it's pretty safe to say, Dan, that we gave them a chance to show us what they can do off of the houses that they picked.
Yep.
So you can't get mad at us if after we let you pick your house and you showed us that you're crap, we decide it's time to start making some alterations to your placement in that house. You brought it on yourself because you picked the house and you didn't listen. You didn't cooperate. You didn't do your part in the battlefield. Don't get mad at Dan. Don't get mad at myself. Don't get mad at Empty Big. Don't get mad at Gameaholic. Get mad at yourself because we let you pick and you let yourself down. Now, with that being said, the only people in TCK that are going to have the power to reprimand anybody in TCK is going to be your house silver crowns or above. Commanders, more on this coming at your table. So as of now, members, are you guys all content with everything that we said? Is everyone on the same page here today? Oh, don't all speak at once. Are we all on the same page, you guys, or what?
I feel you.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. So with that being said, you guys, we're gonna move up from today's member table. Unless if I'm forgetting something, Dan. Am I forgetting anything over here?
Yeah, so, real quick, guys. So, we don't mean to be harsh with this, but we've been having a lot of problems with people not doing their jobs ultimately. Like Ray said, we have watchers that's driving mongooses across the other side of the map, or we have infantry guys as holding the snipers or as guarding. Now, we're not saying totally that you guys can't do that. If we're in a situation where we need a infantry guy to or there's no other guardians and it's a whole bunch of infantry, that's that's fine. But once again, people should be doing their jobs. We shouldn't have. If you want to do that, you need to get with the house commander to get you transferred into that house.
Amen.
And that's all we asking, because if you don't want to be in the house, you don't want to guard, but you want to be infantry and you want to be out there getting kills and getting the power weapons, yes, that's fine. Just let one of us know, or let the house commanders, chain of command, let the house commanders know so that it can be taken care of. But don't be a guardian trying to be stealth, or don't be a watcher trying to be infantry. It just doesn't work. So with that, and then I just wanted to add to what Ray just said about the crowns being taken off. Let me tell you what that means. I don't think Ray actually explained what that means when your crown is being taken off, because it may not sound like a big deal, but actually it is. So let's just say, for instance, let's just say an infantry guy gets his crown removed, or whatnot, and we start up a match. What that means is everybody else in that house has priority over everything the infantry does, unless that person is told that they can grab it. So if there's war hogs and there's things out there, a regular infantry guy that has his crown or commander or whatever, they have priority, so they can hop in that and take it. It may sound harsh, but this is what happens when you don't do what you're supposed to do. You're the last person on the list to get any
Anything.
anything that your house has priority over, and anything else that's on that map. So that's the that's the difference between being the crown, holding the crown, and not holding the crown. You'll be taken all the way down to basically green shield, to where you have to be told, or somebody allows you to get that item or whatever it is, and that could be a regular member too. That means you don't have priority over a regular member. Just so people understand what that means.
Thank you for
That's it, Ray.
adding that.
I have a
Thank
question.
you so much. Question, yes, sir.
Yes, your question.
So, what you're telling me, the heat of battle, you got a guy across the map who's got the flag. I mean, you're a guy without a crown, and there's another guy who has a crown who's in infantry, over there trying to help that guy get the flag or whatnot. Are you telling me I can't hop in the Warthog to go
I'm
pick him
telling
up
you, you better ask for my
without
motherfucking
asking that?
permission. Yup, you better ask me. Look here, if I take your crown, you can't even shit without my say so. You understand me?
And Ray, don't. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'll take Arrock. I understand what you're saying. Like, but you have to understand that you're looking at it that way. If you It won't be no issues if you do what your job is. Nobody's going to take your crown if you're doing your job. This is for
Exactly.
people who's not listening and don't want to do that job. So if it sounds harsh and you don't like it, so be it. And I'm not saying you,
If
I'm
you're
talking to anybody. No, what I'm telling you, it does not matter. It doesn't matter. Okay? I know
Look
you
at it
like to
this way,
go
Air
against
Rock.
what
You're
people
gonna get
say.
really good at call outs because you're gonna be asking me to do a lot of shit. Ray, can I
I
pick
know
this
you don't
up?
like something. I,
Sorry, go
I know
ahead.
that you don't like. No, it's okay. I know that you don't like certain things that go on in here. But if you do your job, there is no issue. That point blank. If you can't do your job, if you can't be, if you once again, your silver crown and higher, we're just not going to take somebody's crown just because we want to. If honestly, and I'm not saying if one time a watcher does it or whatever, they may be warned. Well, Ray just said nobody's been warned. So if for me personally, if I'm in a lobby and if a watcher just happens to grab a warhog to get it back to the base or whatever, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, you're a watcher, you're not supposed to do that. But if you're constantly doing something that you're not supposed to be doing, yes, you're going to get your crown taken away from you. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. And I'm not saying that ultimately that a non-crown member can't grab it if nobody's around, and of course we need help. Of course, yes, you can grab it. That's not what we're saying.
You better
What
ask
we're
my
saying is
permission first.
priority. It's priority. It's priority. I know you know what that word means. It's priority. If you can't do your job at the end of the day, you do not deserve to have your crown. Point blank, there's no arguments about it. If you can't do your job, you're going to get your crown taken away from you. If you want to be in another house, transfer to that house. That's
Amen.
point blank. It should be no issues. Do you have any questions about that?
I've got one comment.
Go ahead.
If you're gonna treat somebody like this, just because I know that they need to do their job and all that, but after going through this, they're probably just gonna leave.
Then that's fine. Then they can
They're
leave.
welcome to
All
fucking
right,
leave. We encourage them to
They
fucking
can
leave.
leave.
We have our
all right.
We're not. We're
organization. Our civilization runs a certain way. You decide to be a member of this civilization, and we want you here. But if you don't like the rules, then by all means, feel free to leave.
exactly.
All
And
right,
it's not.
that's what I
Once
was.
again, it's not a big deal. If you do your job, there is no problem. That's what we're saying. This right here is for people that want to be that quote unquote want to be in TCK, but they
Yep.
don't want to listen. That's what it is. At the end of the day, if you don't want to listen and do what your job and details and what you should be doing, then you don't deserve to be in TCK. We don't need people in this community that just want to do what they want. You just said that not too long ago about the Cubs. We don't want people in here that's going to do whatever they want and don't listen. That is why we're called TCK. That is why we are structured, and that is why we win games or whatever the case is. We play the way we play because it's working. If you can't do your job point blank, you don't deserve to be in. You don't belong in TCK. Go be Lone Wolf. At the end of the day, I don't see
Yep.
where there's any problem in that. I don't even know why you're questioning that. As a Cub King, you shouldn't even be questioning that because same thing applies to the Cubs. Same thing. I don't understand what the problem is. But I'm getting myself roused up. Ray, go ahead.
So, thank you once again, Reverend Daniel Trump, everybody. Amen.
Would you
Shut up.
would you face the camera there, Ray?
Yeah, so sorry about that. I'm kind of in my own little zone right quick here. I do apologize, everybody. I was up here looking at that beautiful inn. Doesn't it just look so new? Yes, wow.
That it does. That it
Okay.
does. I just painted it.
Okay here, but all jokes aside, gentlemen, I know that was a very, very intense member table, but it's expected of us all to just really do our part, man. I mean, we're gonna make TCK great again, you guys, and it's gonna take everyone's participation to go through this transformation. Okay, so we understand some people may feel a little rebellious right now, but as a country, we shall work through this. And in case if you're wondering, yes, I took that right off of Donald Trump's Facebook. All right, all jokes aside, though, gentlemen, is there anything else on the member table? Member table going once. Member table going twice. Member table, member table, member table. With nothing else on today's member table, let's move on up to the commander table. Okay, so Dan, how are you doing today, Dan? You doing pretty good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Big Bird, how you doing over there, bud? Wherever you at, and I gotta give a shout out to our security, Big Bird. He be holding it down in here. That's why you guys never see him on TV. How you doing out there, Birdie? You doing pretty good?
I'm doing great. Doing great.
Excellent. Shahufa, I know you're not here, man, but I want to give a shout out to you. I know you've been doing a pretty good job and everything. So,
Excellent job.
yeah, an excellent job. Let me rephrase that. You've been doing an excellent job lately. So, Commanders, there's a couple of slim updates for you and like one big update for you. But the slim updates can really consist of very simply, you know, doing your paperwork. Great job. It seems like a lot of you guys have this down. Understand that, Commanders, we're actually going to be redevising your entire Commander contact form on the website. It's going to be a little bit more simpler. It's going to be broken down into more forms, but each form will be shorter and more precise to the exact item you're looking for. So we apologize, but give us a little bit of time and that will be in place for you. Now, in addition to that, Commanders, we just want to really say, for those of you guys who have been holding your meetings, Big Bird and Shahufa, we recognize that you guys have been regular with your meetings. That is the glory of TCK, is being regular. And as far as the presidential staff was saying this week, as we had our meeting, we're proud of you guys because you guys are definitely demonstrating the principles and beliefs of TCK as we continue to do so. I mean, just in case if you guys don't understand, as average members, geez, I personally am responsible for one meeting, but I attend like 3 meetings a week. Dan, how many meetings do you go to a week? In one week, how many would you say you go to? Average.
Um, Guardian. I would say an average at least 3, at least.
And this is your
That's
presidential
including classes.
staff. Exactly. Class is important too. And I know that your Silver Crown commanders are definitely doing their part. They're showing up to their house meetings on time. I want to give a very special shout out to infantry because they went as far as to put 2 mandated meetings on the website. So twice on one day they have a meeting, which is freaking awesome and it's regular. I know that I can look at this website and I can say, "Oh, good. Infantry's meeting starts at this time. Do I want to go or not?" Yeah, I want to go to it. Awesome. But it seems like that's where the glory stops at. And we need all of the potential new bronze crowners to understand something. At your level of TCK, we don't ask much, but we're preparing you for our level of TCK, where when you're really running stuff, there's a lot of meetings that go into it, and more so, there's a lot of being on time and being regular with your on time appearance that goes into it. So, as a good bronze crowner, you must understand that we can no longer afford for you to be on some Mrs. Nanny McPhee show up whenever the fuck you want to schedule, but we really need you to be regular with your schedule. We need you to sit down, think to yourself, what is 1 hour out of 24 fucking hours that I just happen to not be doing a goddamn thing every day? Once you figure out what that 1 hour is, what's one day you're not usually doing too much? That you usually have a lighter schedule than usual. Keep in mind, in case if you guys don't know what Ray does, I have a vape pen company, I have a real estate company, I also now have a grow operation, and I also have a part-time job, plus I'm the father of 2 children, and I got a wife who's never satisfied. So believe me, I have a laundry list of items that are always required of me. But as a adult for one, hell, in the words of the Masons, you cannot call yourself a king before you call yourself a man. And I had to learn to be a man before I called myself a king. And as a bronze crowner, you must understand that being a man is being about your fucking word. Being regular is about showing the whole world that they can count on you. You're accountable, you're reliable, you're able to do your job, and you're able to learn. And right now, the two most valuable jewels of a bronze crown might as well have been hawked on the black market because you're not accountable and you're not reliable. I mean, I had to personally ride my foot up Pirate Steve's ass this week to make him have a class for me. And I did not enjoy doing that. I had to actually have the class my fucking self because he was a fucking idiot and didn't know what the hell he was talking about. In
Yeah.
which case, I did not enjoy that. So if you are thinking about saying to yourself, oh, yes, sir, Big Bird, go ahead. What you got to say?
I was on the note on that, as Pirate Steve is no longer the bronze crowner, I just wanted to let you know, both you, Dan, and Mass Pirate, classes will still continue, but they'll continue after the meetings. After infantry meetings, classes will partake. There'll be like a 15-minute recess, and then classes will be after each meeting.
And that's regular. That is being a king. That is being a man first. Big Bird has said, fuck it. Since I don't got no one reliable or accountable, I'm going to go ahead and step up and I'm going to dedicate an extra 30 minutes of my schedule now. 15 minutes for recess, which he's going to be there with you, and 15 to 25 minutes for class, which he's going to do directly after his meeting time. That's commitment. That's loyalty. I'm not trying to ride you guys too hard, but I am just simply trying to highlight for you that the real founding fathers of this community, the real burdens of grunt work, we're the ones who are here regularly. And if you wish to have any say-so in our democracy system and leadership as a whole, if you wish to learn more tactics from us as far as how you can apply to your own personal life and make yourself a better person, then understand it all starts off with you being accountable, reliable, able to do your fucking job, and able to learn. So, if you want to be a bronze crowner from now on, before we're even going to give you this crown, you need to let us know what's going to be that one 30-minute window in 7 fucking days that we can count on your ass to show the fuck up to your own event. Okay? I mean, raise that every Saturday meeting, am I not? If I'm not, there's another presidential staff member who's well aware of why I'm not there, and they're representing the fuck out of me. Is that not true? And there's only been, what, 2 times last year that happened? If that. So, I expect nothing less out of anyone that wears any type of symbol of authority in TCK. Any symbol of authority. bronze all the way up. You will now and forever on be accountable and reliable. You will demonstrate that you're able to do your job, and you will continue to learn to excel to the position above yours. No more getting comfortable at just being Silver Crown. No, you should be trying to say, hey, I believe I can actually one day be a leader in this family and pushing for it. So I'm not going to keep bounding this or going over too much more in detail, but yeah, all Silver Crown commanders, talk to your Bronze Crowns that you may or may not have. Big Bird, I already got your schedule, so I'll put it on the website for you. Understand,
I'll
the presidential staff as a whole, there's 4 of us. Only one needs to show up. We may or may not come to your fucking class that week, but God forbid that your class is scheduled and we show up and you don't. Understand, you do have the availability for 1 absence out of 4, but that needs to be pre-communicated to Dan before I show up. So I hope everyone's clear on that. Don't let me come to your class. Don't let Empty Bit come to your class. Don't let Dan show up. Don't let Gameaholics. God forbid all 4 of us don't got shit to do at that time and just happen to pop into your class and you not be there. You won't have very much more to justify, believe me. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Dan. What were you saying, brother?
Oh no, you're good. You're good. I was just gonna back you up, but you're good.
Cool. So as you see, Dan was about to back me up, but I'm good. So yeah, even Dan backs me up. Say something. Say something. I'm just playing TCK. I'm just playing, y'all. But commanders, that's pretty much the the minimum part of the commander table. The most important part is strictly for the silver crowners. Now, silver crowns, understand that you guys now have the authority to take crowns, but it is on a scale and contingent basis. You may want to get a pin for this. You may not need to get a pin for this, depending on how smart you are. It's up to you.
It's always good to write stuff down.
It really is always good to. Even I take notes all the fucking time.
Give
But
me 1 second.
it's cool,
Alright.
cool. Okay, so on the
Ready.
first part, taking a crown is really to symbolize that you're having a one-on-one class with this individual. It's to symbolize that as you are the one that took the crown, they have to prove to you, single-handedly you, their ability to possess said crown. And the thing about this is we expect for it not to exceed throughout the course of an evening or an afternoon or however long you guys are on for. By the time he hops off, the member should have demonstrated his ability to, you know, not be on a mongoose trying to be Mr. Sniper or not letting the enemy team take every fucking sniper because you can't figure out how to get to your spot. Whatever. You will figure it out. As time goes on, commanders, you know what the hell we're talking about. That's why you're party lead. You know what people should be doing and what they're never doing. As you start seeing it, we expect you to take them crowns. Now, if for some reason they prove that they can do their job, give them their crown back. Important. As long as you give it back to them that day, there is no need for paperwork at all. This can simply be seen as a corrective course of action that you took single-handedly to ensure that the member is properly educated on what they should and should not be doing. Now, on the other hand, let's just say it's a little bit more of an extreme case where the individual may just be being rude. Fuck you, I'm doing it this way because I want to. Fuck you. Okay, after the game, I'm taking your crown. All right, fuck you. Okay. Well, you take his crown. Or at least you tell him to take it off, and he says, fuck you, and back out. That member just made the most critical fucking mistake that he could have made in TCK from now on. The reason why is because he no longer has the availability or the option of being mentored and educated by the single commander who was trying to correct him. But now, this commander has no choice, aka you as a Silver Crowner have no choice but to document this on the website. You have no choice but to file paperwork on this crown removal. In addition to that, you have to contact the house commander and let them know your member lost his crown on this day due to this. Understand, it's going to be a minimum of 7 days before the presidential staff even reviews your document. And we have to review your document at that point. At that point in time, it has no choice but to go up to us. It's being documented now. Based off of the severity of the issue, you've been saying fuck you to my commanders, you may be kicked out of TCK. And there's not very much your commander can do about that now because you stepped out the lobby disrespectfully. Then again, you may lose your crown for 30 days. Understand that if your house receives it and intercepts it before we actually do something about it. So we'll just say that Big Bird got the communication from Shahufa. Big Bird knows about the problem. Big Bird knows that Shahufa already filed paperwork. Big Bird contacts us and says, hey, presidential staff, I know that my member was saying fuck you in the lobby. I got it. Okay, we're going to allow the house to discipline. Now at this point, understand, as a house commander, you have the right to maintain that crown up to a maximum of 60 days. No crown removal will ever extend that period of time, ever. And truth be told, we expect you guys to keep it within a 30-day period. 60 days are for more or less the extreme cases. Don't even mention that you have a maximum time that you can give them. But just know, if you sentence someone closer to 45, 50, 60 days, the presidential staff is going to have to watch this individual for 45, 50, 60 days, in which case, I don't got time. So if he fucks up again, we're probably just going to kick him out. If he's underneath the 30-day mark, he's in the house custodies for 30 days, in which case, as long as you guys are correctively approaching your member, you don't got to worry about us putting our foot in his ass. But even more so, as a member, as long as you listen to your commander while he's trying to correct you, you don't got to worry about him filing paperwork, because if he files paperwork, you're probably fucked in more ways than one. So, as a commander, your position of authority has just amplified and increased, and we're expecting you to demonstrate a zero tolerance for anyone who is not complying with their needs on the battlefield. If they're just not getting it and you keep constantly giving them instructions, save your fucking breath after the 5th time and take the crown at the end of the game and make sure the member knows that he needs to be listening to you for the rest of the night. Otherwise, you're going to have to follow this paperwork, and his house and maybe even presidential staff is going to have a long talk with him about this incident. So, does that make sense for all the commanders? Are we all on the same page for this?
Yeah.
Dan, did I miss
the one,
anything at all? Oh, yes, sir. I'm sorry. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
no.
Go ahead,
What
Big
I
Bird.
was the only thing I was saying is you were talking about crown removal. Now, do you have to, let's say I'm in a lobby with like watchers and all that, and they ain't doing their job. Do I have to contact the commander of that house?
Only if. Now, here's a catch about it. You know as well as I know that Watcher does not have a commander.
I,
These members, and
yeah.
only members of the higher houses, they technically don't have commanders, but they still have the lower house authority. If they want to give you shit, technically speaking, they still do have a commander. Their commander is an appointed president by the name of Dan. He don't have time to be commanders over higher members who should know better. He's probably going to reprimand and demote them back into a lower house where they can receive the proper mentoring that they need, since they cannot demonstrate how to be a higher house member. That's probably what I'm just gonna cut the shit. That's probably what's gonna happen to any higher house member that just cannot seem to get it.
Okay, that was basically my only question.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie to you. If you don't get it, you're probably getting demoted. That's as simple as that. Okay, so Dan, did I miss anything on this?
Nope, you hit it all right in the head. Yep,
All
bullseye.
right, good. Good. So just so you guys know, the entire presidential staff is behind this decision. We're expecting you as commanders to go forth and segregate the assholes immediately. The ones that just can't get it, start segregating them. As the more you segregate, the more we'll figure it out. But yeah, please, you guys, do not try to make this big thing, but instead use it as a coaching tool before it turns into a discipline tool.
And
Okay,
not just
so
Sounds
that,
like a great
just
plan.
and not just that, just do your job, people. That's it. Do your job. We won't have any issues if people just do that job. I mean,
exactly.
it's not that big. It's really not that big of a deal. Like it shouldn't be a big of a deal. If you know you're doing what you gotta do, you have nothing to worry about.
That's ultimately the truth.
Amen on that one.
I mean, believe me, I'm not going to come to you and say, you didn't pick me up because you was getting, yes, I am, it's 11:44. You did not pick me up because you was busy getting kills in a warthog on the other side of the map because they were suppressed over there. I'm demoting you. It does not work that way. If you're the
No,
watcher in the warthog on the other side of the map and you wasn't watching me with your sniper after I got shot by their sniper, yeah, I'm talking to you. That's a different person I'm talking to. Okay, but you
completely
guys,
understand there.
I really can't spend too much more time at this table because I really have to get ready to go like right about now. But let's get ready to proceed up to the general table. But before we do, are there any questions, comments, or concerns on the commander table? Question, comments, concerns on the commander table. Going once, going twice. Commander table, commander table, commander table. With nothing else on the commander table, let's move on up to today's general table. You guys, TCK is going through a huge change. Crummy, I do apologize. I was supposed to have like a lot of time for you to speak on this, but I have to go get my son in like 5 minutes actually, so I just cannot do it. You guys, please get with Crummy after the meeting. He's going to help you guys get into the social club, better understand the social club. If you have not done the update yet, please hit the Xbox button twice. Go down to the bottom, the little cog sign. You're going to notice where it says system updates. Click on that. You will have an update in your Xbox if you live in America. Once you accept the update, you will see the social clubs. Get in touch with any member of the presidential staff. We all have the authority to get you appropriately assist with becoming a member of the social club. Understand that as a presidential staff, we are going to be allowing one person who is not a member of the presidential staff to have administrative rights inside of the organization. This one individual is going to be TCK Crummy Bick. Crummy Bick is also a member of Skull King Media. He's actually an assistant producer. Or yeah, an assist. You guys gotta forgive me. I'm getting tongue-tied. I gotta go. But he holds a few different titles in TCK. Plus, he's a member of Congress, and we do feel that he's personally spent the time researching this. It's in our best interest to allow him to continue to assist us and make sure that as a whole, the community is pushing forward in the right direction. So, Crummy Big, we do appreciate you staying on the staff. But outside of that, you guys, there's a lot more updates on the social club. I just don't have time to go over them. Please get with Crummy Big. At the end of this meeting, he will gladly update you guys on everything that you should and should not know about a social club, okay? All right. In addition to that, you guys, the games are live again. I'm waiting on, just so you guys know, I'm waiting on the pizzas from Papa John's. We already have 3 of them, but we're waiting on like a whole other stack. So it's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. If you guys have not been checking the website, understand that we have a lot of video content that's being added every day. So please stop by the different zones. You're depending on your level of TCK, you probably are not going to have access to everything that is available to see. If you're a paid member, by going to your page, you're going to see all of our content. But if you're a free member, check the different zones out. I'm telling you now, the GTA page is very different, and they got some pretty cool content on it. And then the Halo page now looks very different, and they got some cool content on it. So check out the different zones and kind of get a feel for what you like and let us know. We want to base the content better off of what you guys want to see. So please explore your own area. And remember, the more you play around with your own site, the more revenue you're actually bringing into your own site. So if for any reason you just get bored today and you decide you want to go to work or you're in the toilet, watch the news. It's going to be there a little bit later. And that will actually help the family out a lot, you guys. We really appreciate it. So with that being said, there's not too much more on the general table. Does anyone else here have anything on the general table they'd like to add today?
Just
Ju-
custom game night, guys. Every Friday. Every Friday we have custom game nights. At 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 6 o'clock Central, and 5 o'clock for Mountain, and then whatever 1 o'clock for you guys in the UK, I believe. Every Friday night, if you have any kind of ideas, anything that you guys want to bring to the table, please bring it. We're looking for any kind of suggestions to play. Have a good time with the family.
Here,
And
here.
just to update too, real quick, Ray. I'm sorry, you gotta go.
None of your business.
For now, guys, we're not just inviting a whole bunch of people in. For now, commanders of the house do, if there is room, commanders can bring in one person that they think that's going to fit the family, or that they want to play with us. But it's going to be
Amen.
a family-oriented game on Friday nights, unless something changes.
Remember, he said commanders only can bring one person to our event. And that's if there is room. So, no more bringing 3 or 4 of your friends. Just one will do just fine. Pick the best one. Maybe the other one can come next week when this one becomes a member.
Right.
Okay, so thank you once again for adding that, Dan. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm kind of enjoying doing the meeting with you. You know, that's kind of like a little yin and yang thing we got going on. We go back and forth with this. You know, it works out.
Yes, sir.
Works out well. All right, so TCK, it's been a real pleasure meeting with you guys today. Does anyone else have any questions, comments, or concerns for the general table? Anything at all? General table going once, going twice, third and final time. Nothing else? Good. TCK, it's been a blast, man. And one thing that I could say about televising the meeting is it's definitely helped us cram it into a much more shorter segment, which is kind of awesome. So thank you guys for watching, for those who's tuning in. For everyone that's actually here today, I want to thank you guys for being here. We're kind of broke, you guys, so we cannot afford credit. So what I'm going to do is bow. For all the 4 names on the screen, we want to give you guys a shout out. Mass Pirate, Dan, Big Bird. We had 2 Knights and Cubs, but whatever, they bounced out. So, yeah. With that being said, everyone, you have a wonderful night. Have a wonderful day. And we'll see you guys next week here on TCK News. Good day. Music, but we're going to work on it for you guys next week. We'll have better music, I promise. Later, you guys.